Spider-Man, Spider-Man, we just saw Spider-Man.
Homecoming!
Can he swing from a thread? Yep.
Hello and welcome to the Amazing Nerdiverse, where with great power comes great responsibility. I'm Jeff Grant.
I'm Steven Tugert.
And today we're going to be reviewing The Amazing Spider-Man 3. Spider-Man Homecoming.
Spider-Man. Picture.
So Spider-Man is now finally in the MCU. We got to see his first little debut in Civil War, but this is his first solo film set within the Marvel Cinematic Universe. How did you think it went?
Perfect. I loved it.
Yeah, it's kind of like everything I've always wanted in a Marvel movie. As far as like when I think Marvel, I think of Spider-Man comics. Those are the comics that I gravitated towards. I love the high school setting of it all. Seeing the Marvel universe from the younger perspective, which we don't really get to see a lot of. You see every now and then.
You get to see every now and then in the other ones, but when the actors are like 45, there's only so long they can spend in high school.
Yeah. So
in this one, he's like 15.
Yeah, and we have plenty of high school stories ahead of us,
and shenanigans.
That's what works best for the character, I think. They really nailed that aspect of it, and just each Marvel movie has that kind of, they're not all just the same kind of thing. Like, each one has its own kind of tone. Like, Ant-Man was like a heist movie, and like Winter Soldier was like a political thriller and stuff like that. This is like a John Hughes high school movie, which they told us going in, but it's just so great to see that up on the screen and just really see like they're nailing that part of it.
Yeah. Spider-Man Homecoming was perfect. I loved it. It brought me back to my childhood. Loving Spider-Man, doing Spider-Man things, Spider-Man being brought back to his core as a character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
Running around doing Spider-Man stuff like jumping. This movie had action. It had comedy. It had drama.
Yeah.
Get it?
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man.
So let's talk about the cast. There was a fantastic young cast of all these characters playing all of Peter Parker's teenage, schoolmates and everything.
Yeah,
in
like
Midtown
Ned.
High. Ned was great. He was fantastic.
Is he new?
No, he's from the comics.
Is he?
Yeah, in the comics, I don't see them going this direction with the character, but in the comics, he became one of the later iterations of like Hobgoblin or something.
Don't do that.
Yeah, I wouldn't like that. We had Liz Allen. I really like that. Laura Harrier. She was great. She was a great love interest for the character in the film. Tony Revolori, Flash Thompson. I wasn't sure because we haven't seen a whole lot of his characters in any of the commercials or previews or anything like that. I thought he was great as Flash Thompson. He's a character that you love to hate in most iterations of the character, and I thought they really nailed that in this one.
I really wanted Peter to just punch him square in the face.
Yeah.
Like, he's not like a bully, he's just like a dickhead.
Yeah, he's kind of a dick. Zendaya played Michelle. I liked her in this film. She was a very interesting character that we learn a little bit more about as the film goes on. She's really interesting. I'm curious to see where they take this character in the future of these films. We talked about it on the podcast, how there's certain times where, like in the trailer, you're like, why don't she mind her own damn business and stuff like that. But she was just funny when she was doing it.
Yeah, but it's annoying. He's got Spider-Man stuff to do. Why don't you just relax? We get it.
People complain about, movies where they overdo the villains, like The Amazing Spider-Man. That wasn't that film's problem. It had 3 villains.
It wasn't its solution.
No, but they had a lot of problems.
Certainly,
this movie has twice as many villains as that movie, but it still manages to make all of them work.
Yeah, there's like 8 people that are bad guys.
There's so many characters from the comics. It's just about every character in the entire film is someone from a comic book somewhere. So, obviously characters that we don't want to spoil much, but there's characters that going in. There's a couple shockers in there. I liked how they used both versions of the shocker in this film. He's a low-level character that, like, I could see just popping up as just like just a one-off scene in movies down the line. The Tinkerer, what did you think about the Tinkerer?
I thought he was great, tinkering around, making gadgets and gizmos.
He's an important character for a lot of these villains and stuff, making the weaponry. He's like, I guess he would kind of be like the Tony Stark for the villains of this world, like, as far as he's the one equipping them with this hardware and stuff. I don't want to say too much about Donald Glover's character. He's only in the film a very small bit, but I liked what they did with him. I thought it was really cool, and he had a couple of funny lines that I enjoyed. And, finally, Vulture. Vulture, let's talk about, the Marvel movies kind of...
You mean Batman?
Yeah, Birdman. They kind of have a
doing
history...
winged things.
Yeah, they kind of have a history of the Marvel movies to like focus so much attention on all the heroes and that part of the world and kind of negate the villains and don't really, give them the attention that I think they deserve.
Well, the movie's not called Vulture Homecoming.
I would see that, though. I think he's one of my, he's moved up the list as far as, like, some of my favorite villains in the Marvel Cinematic Universe just because, A, Michael Keaton is awesome, gives a great performance and everything, but they do really interesting things with his character.
Mm-hmm. I thought he was great. I think it was better than having him be, like, a super-powered old dude that, like, steals people's youth.
Yeah.
That's kind of what he is in the thing.
Yeah.
In the comics.
So, obviously, this movie being part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, that's one of the coolest parts about this, and they took full advantage of that by, like, incorporating things from the Marvel Cinematic Universe as a whole. Obviously, you got Tony Stark in there, and I really like that, like, kind of, mentor-mentee relationship they have going on there. Mentee?
That's not really what it is.
That's a word.
Student.
Mentor-mentee. Look it up.
No.
Mentee. Noun. A person who is advised, trained, or counseled by a mentor. You piece of shit.
And or student.
Yeah, but it doesn't sound like mentor. You didn't win this. Why are you celebrating?
I did it. It's me. I win.
Happy Hogan was a lot of fun in the movie. I love Jon Favreau's character. Alright, so we talked about everybody else. Let's talk about the man himself, Tom Holland.
Tom Holland was a perfect Spider-Man. I think he's by far the best so far.
He just nailed all the parts of the character that I wanted to see. That that running his mouth and everything like that. Just the young innocence of just wanting to do good, and the whole like they didn't really say the words with great power responsibility, but that was just still the core values of his character. Maybe
they're saving it. It was either 2 or 1 where Uncle Ben kind of said it, but he like said it all stupid.
Yeah, he didn't say the actual words.
Peter, great power. You gotta do a lot of stuff. All right.
Perfect. And scene. I really like Peter's relationship with Aunt May, Marisa Tomei, in the film. I thought she was great. She was really charming and everything. And we've seen that relationship before, like, several times before in the past in these movies. But this one, like, worked best of all those, I think. I really like seeing what they did with, that relationship.
He's not crying the whole movie.
Yeah, true.
He's just like cracking wise. He's like smiling.
Yes.
He's running around just being fine. He's fine.
Yeah, that's something they completely negated in the first, like, Sam Raimi trilogy. That motor mouth, like, he's a kid, and he's, like, kind of just trying to overcompensate for, like, the fact that he's just a kid trying to fight these villains and stop bank robberies and stuff. So he's running his mouth the whole time, and that's, like, such a key part of the character. They kind of did it a little bit in the Amazing Spider-Man movies, but this just took that to a whole new level and made it work really great.
He should always be outclassed, but never outmatched. The movie felt long, but not in a bad way.
Yeah, it did. I noticed that, like, as it was getting up there, I was like, this feels really long, but it's like the kind of long where I'm not getting bored.
Right.
I'm just like, I know it's coming to an end soon.
Yeah.
And it kind of I just wanted to keep going.
I really like that the overall objective wasn't like the world was going to blow up or a giant beam shooting up into the sky. It was just like a small but important thing that Peter had to fix. There's
some things here and there that, like, harken back to, either comics, like previous iterations of the character. Like, there's a great moment where, it's a scene straight up from a classic Spider-Man comic book, and I just loved seeing that moment come to life on the screen. We hadn't seen it before. Did you have any negatives in the film?
Not really.
Yeah,
I just enjoyed myself for once during a Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, there's not a lot of... I didn't have a lot of problems with it.
Can I have this movie on Blu-ray now?
I know. That's my one negative, that I can't just immediately turn around and watch it again right now.
God.
I will say, part of it going in, and it was one of my worries going in, I don't really like the whole Spider-Man with the super crazy high-tech suit. But the movie, the way they use it in the movie, I really enjoyed that stuff. Somewhere along in the middle of the film, it kind of dragged a little tiny bit in the middle for me, but that was fine.
How dare you have a different opinion than me?
It's not even that different. We both freaking love this movie. Where does this come as far as like the Spider-Man films that have come before? Is this your favorite Spider-Man film to date?
Yeah, I'll put it at number 1.
Yeah, I mean, I think it would be for me too, because it's everything I wanted to see. Like, the other Spider-Man movies had great things in them, like the first two.
Mm-hmm.
I love those first two Sam Raimi movies, like, at that time. Like, they were, like, my favorite of all the superhero movies, those two Spider-Man movies. Mm-hmm. But they didn't age as well as I would have hoped they would have. Whereas this one, you know, they just got it right the first try, I think. I mean, first try as far as Marvel doing it. Sony took them a little while, but they figured out, we'll just let these assholes do it. We'll make all the money.
Going, are you sure he's not crying enough?
Now, what if he walks down the street and does like a little dance?
Are we sure everyone knows how he became Spider-Man?
Can we do an origin story at the beginning, and then about halfway through the film, flash back to his origin so they remember what it was?
I think we got a movie here.
Well done, sir. Okay, now where does this one fall for you as far as like the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Like, you know, where does it
easily
land?
top 5.
Yeah. My favorite, at least the last time we did it on the podcast, my favorite was Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
And Civil War had a lot going for it. It had, you know, the first appearance of this Spider-Man and Black Panther, that crazy airport scene, the great fight scene at the end with Iron Man and Winter Soldier and Captain America and all that stuff. There was so much great stuff going for it. But as a whole, beginning to end, this was like the Marvel movie that I've always wanted to see. And I really enjoyed it. So it's definitely up there in the top 5 for me as well. I think I'm gonna give this one a 9.5 out of 10. 9.5 out of 10 web shooters.
Gross.
All right, why?
I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10.
All right, boom. Perfect score. 10 out of 10 what?
Spider-Man.
Wow. You just hit a brick wall there. Alright, so if you like this review, please do us a favor and subscribe to the Amazing Nerdiverse on iTunes. And most importantly, leave a review on iTunes, because it's one of the most important things you can do to help people find this show. On YouTube, please like this video, subscribe to our channel for more podcasts and movie reviews and fun videos like that, and just more of this guy just doing shit while I'm trying to talk. And leave a comment below. Let us know what you like, what you don't like. If you don't like his face, let me know. I might leave that comment myself. Share this show with your friends on social media. We're on Facebook. Go like our Facebook page and follow our Facebook page. We are the Amazing Nerdiverse on Facebook. On Instagram, we are at Amazing Nerdiverse, and on Twitter, I'm at Jeff_Grants.
I'm at Steven Tugert.
And we are at NerdiversePod. Oh, and go to theamazingnerdiverse.com for all that and very little more. And until next time, I'm Jeff Grants.
I'm Steven Tugert.
We'll catch you right here next time in the Amazing Nerdiverse.
With great power.
Well said.
That's the end of it, right?
Yeah. Hit 'em.